Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the final match of Week 2, Season 41. And we won our last match. We have a decent buffer in Kyber 2, and I think we are going to need that buffer because we have a tough opponent this match. But first, a quick recap for how my defense really locked it down last match. With Linamdar here, I thought this could go this way based on his light depth, and this is how it turned out to be. Fell into a number of my traps. My defense had a very strong showing. Check out what happened here. Getting a hold with Qui-Gon. Trench here getting a hold, and I do think in 3v3 you don't want to use Jango. Easier if you have Jango on the field. It allows you to focus down on Trench very quickly. You do want Dooku for the stealth. Wat kind of needs to be there. You could look into a tank though. CLS down in 1. But the reason I emphasize that Trench is because it beats Wampas. Otherwise, Trench in 3v3 is easily Wampa'd. Down here, this was great. My Maul plus this Jango Datacron, which pairs nicely with Canderous, which is why I have this set up. Normally, I wouldn't use those Mandalorian characters. It's all about the Datacron here. Finally picking up some good holds. Finn and Zori getting 6 attempts, and then Padme picking up a surprise hold. This is a fairly weak team, but because we're looking just to add some relics, add some Datacrons, I'm sure this is the type of thing where when all these teams start picking up holds, rosters start getting shallower and shallower, and then you start using less ideal counters to get through some of these weaker teams. And then we see that pattern up top here where the Tuskens, they take 3 attempts and still don't go down. This is my preferred use if you don't place the Chieftain on me. I think this boosts up the Raider Omicron pretty nicely. This is also a decent level to get some acceptable usage out of the Dragon Raid without having to go into relics, because Kairos right now, those are for other things like the Leviathan for the near future. Grievous here picking up a hold, and then the rest goes down, and no attempts on Bosk. And again, very happy to get this win, build up that buffer in Kyber 2 because we want to maintain our Kyber 2 status for the entire season, and now we'll have that win or lose, because this is what we've got to deal with this match. Unfortunately, we did not get the match I was hoping for, which would have been up against Ray Rock here. Ray Rock is a frequent viewer of the channel. He is frequently on the Twitch streams, and he's been a great participant, very good guild, excellent roster. Would have been a fun one to look at, and we don't get the good luck there, even though we were in line for it. We were both in that final 1-win pool of players. Instead, we get Moby here, who has a pretty excellent roster himself. 10 million GP player. Zetas are fine at the 248. Little light on the Amis at 12. That's the least amount in the bracket. 7 GL player. Relics are not in that zone where I start to worry, but it's still pretty strong. Depth is fine at over 200. Relic distribution, not in the problem zone, but still very respectable. He's 61 tier 5s, 46 on the tier 7, 17 of the tier 8. Like very, very strong, distributed very well, but not terrifying like some of these opponents we've seen in the past. He does match up very favorably against the rest of the bracket though with his relic distribution. He is one of the better ones there. Mods, no help here. This is some of the best mods of the bracket. I was more in the middle. And Datacrons, he is a Datacron participant, so no help there either. Again, all GLs. And then with the Omicron characters, only Relic 6 on Malgus, but all 3 Amis. The Iden no Ami, which is very strange, especially because it is a Relic Iden. Although at this point, if you haven't put the Iden Ami on, I might look to not do it, because even though it is this powerhouse when it was first introduced, It's a powerhouse, I think, for the early game. At this point in Kyber 2, there's plenty of counters. Most players know what to do with it. You can even cheap out against some weaker versions with a Savage solo, where if I was him, I might not even put on that Omicron anymore. Dash, no Ami, but I don't have the Ami either. That's one where I feel like you can save an Ami. No Ami on Savage though, that one's mandatory. No Afra, but here's the problem. This is our second third sister encounter, and this is probably going to be a big problem. I don't have my Sith Eternal Emperor ready yet, obviously not at lock-in, and I'm intentionally not unlocking them until next season, so I can maintain 3 GLs for this entire season. So here, looking at third sister, I'm going to attempt some things. We'll see what happens. We might just concede we're not going to get a full clear. Now, Maul at 307, Echo at 305. These characters are looking fine. Profundity looks fine. Let's take a look at the quality of his modding. All right. And here in the inventory, organized by speed. And we know the Echo and Maul were on the edge, so that's what? 15, 20, 25, maybe. Bastila is the last one, so he has 30 characters at 300 speed. Finn and BB-8 are at 299, Third Sister's 298. So he's pretty good. This is, but not terrifying. I'm right around where he's at. It's really more about the characters that he has. And I'm seeing a number of characters I would try to have faster, a little below. You can see his Afra progress right there. Now let's talk about the real problem, which is, of course, the defense. Now, we did do our Twitch stream to try and prepare for this, but we'll see if it helps at all. Okay, so I did take my Jabba off of defense. I don't have a chance at full clearing without having Jabba because of the number of GLs he sets down. So I threw in Sana as some filler. She's not going to do anything. She's terrible on defense, at least at my level. I think you really kind of want Stormtrooper Han in that situation, and he needs to be at relics. I've tried to use my Gear 12 Han, and it doesn't do nothing. And then lower tier, just quickly showing these, even though there has been no meaningful changes. Now there's a couple things I hope to not forget to test, which is Captain Rex, Sith Fleet, because we forgot to do that last round. Especially Captain Rex, which we would have had opportunities to test him last round. Although last video we did get to test out how the Raddus looks up against at least the Sith Fleet without a capital ship, and it is a good sign for my theory. Okay, the cat just ran in. I wanted to make sure that she didn't have anything in her mouth, because she brought in a bird the other day and I didn't notice for a couple days. Not until it started smelling. Now we've got the third sister up top, Beskar, Mando, Qui-Gon, Starkiller, and Rey Swallow. And then down below, we're looking at more GLs. We're looking at a situation of Jabba, Afra, Malgus, Lord Vader, JMK. Now, I don't really think I have a way through this, because obviously my Fennec doesn't work up against Lord Vader. I kind of need JMK, his JMK. Alright, I could JML it. I just don't think it's going to go great. And then obviously JMK is my Jabba counter, although one of the matches we did do a Traya grind down of Jabba, which we may attempt here. That might be how we try to get through this. I think what we're going to do, though, is see if Gas is going to give us any help and start there with Malgus, because this will give us an idea of how far we're going to get, because if Gas fails, or if Gas doesn't at least get through Fallen and Revan, then we're probably not in a situation where I can even clear the Malgus without resorting to a GL, so we might just abandon this territory in that scenario. So hopefully that isn't the case. But that's why I'm going with this match first. It is going to give us a lot of information for how the rest of my strategy is going to play out, because I don't really want to attempt the GL stuff quite yet. I think we'll do this, then Raddus. And I have no idea what I want to do here. Yeah, I guess. Let's get into it. Let me tweak these audio levels, I think. So what is it? Sunday? Sunday night? 3 days of NBA free agency has happened. Really fun free agency for me. Like, maybe not big names, but these are names that matter in terms of the impact that they're actually going to have. This is not going to go well for me. Yeah, we're not winning this. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we get lucky and with some counters we take out like a Fallen. No. No. Come on. No, not with the taunt. We are taking a lot of hits though. But it's the taunt that's the problem. Yeah. Alright. That means we're probably have no chance at clearing a lot of this. Because if, like, let's just say I don't use a GL up against Malgus, that means, like, my JMK is going to be used, like, at least up against the JMK. We might do, like, a Fennec JML thing here. We'll grind down Jabba with Traya and with Afra. And then after that, we got very little left to take on Malgus. So what we're going to do, well, it's not 100% lost at this point. Well, not lost, but whether or not we get a full clear. It is at a point where it's hazy enough where we're just going to focus on seeing if we can clear the top territory. Okay, so with Reva, we got to try some things. There's the Fennec thing. I didn't want to do it because I wanted to use Fennec up against Lord Vader, but honestly, we know that's not going to work. There's a Maul there. There's that Raddus thing, but I think that's a 5v5 thing. I don't think that works on 3v3. There's Traya. But the Traya really does require relics, and then we can look at JMK. I'd really rather use JMK if the other stuff fails. So I think we're going to mess around with some of these things. But also with Traya, it means that Jabba, we're not clearing Jabba. Basically, I think we're going to be conceding the lower territory. We just have to get through Third Sister here. Yeah, we're going to do Traya. Now, the issue with Traya is I'm sure that's a relic thing, and I don't have relics. Now, we don't need to use Scion. We can use Savage, and then we use Nihilus. But my trio don't have no relics. Let's see if we get lucky. Okay. How's this gonna go? Do I want to use this yet? Let's just not, just in case. Because there's only one character with debuffs. Now Savage will hopefully be taking plenty of hits. That should trigger the Annihilate. What? What? Okay, let's keep going. Isolate. We're gonna lose my Traya. Do I get to my Annihilate? This is terrifying. Savage, though, you're showing the world why I love you so. Oh my god. Ugh. Just survive one turn. Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god. You just gotta get an ability block right then on that turn. Yeah, we're dead. We're not making it another turn with an ability block. And we can't dispel now because Traya's gone. Fine. Okay. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Alright, let's... I don't want to do Fennec. Maybe we just do Fennec. I just kind of want to see what happens with Raddus. Even though I don't think this is a 3v3 thing. And even if it were, it probably would require a tank. And it also doesn't win. It's a cleanup situation. That's really the bigger thing here. There. I just want to save the health steal for somebody else. And this is not about winning. This is about taking out 8th brother. So let's focus over there. Focus over there. Buff immunity, perfect. Sure, we'll swap there just to really take a turn and no other reason. AoE. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. She's gonna keep getting loyal hand. We'll call assists. Should have called Cassian, whatever. There's our thing. Come on, let me have this. Yes. Okay. That's not terrible. Okay. Let's do some easy stuff. Let's do a little Shaak T. Wait. No, wait. It's basically pretty clear we're not gonna full clear. I want to do Captain Rex here. And the reason we're going to do Captain Rex here is we don't really have another option. There's no other... This is like the best team to test against, even though this Dash and Dash is just kind of like this one-hit monster. Would I rather do Qui-Gon is the question. And I don't think I do. Let's do it. Alright. Now, it's got to be Hera. It's got to be Capt... Wait, no. We made that mistake last time. We were going to do clones. We're going to do this version. I was kind of thinking maybe I wanted to try it with Bad Batch or some of the 501st, but the problem with the 501st is Shaak T is a good counter to Bam, at least without Dash there. So, and we already tested the Phoenix version, and the Phoenix version might just be more of a 3v3 thing. That was more of a lapse in thinking than anything else. This probably does require the Omicron though, but let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, we took that hit. We got some days. What does this stuff do again? I didn't make a video on this one, so when I don't make the videos, my memory about what things do is not as good. Tenacity down. So this is the AoE. We get turn meter, but everyone's got days, so who cares? Let's go for the stun on Dash. But again, everybody's got days. See if we can stun Bo. Because everyone's got days. AoE. Alright, it's over. Without the Omicron at least, I'm not seeing any viability for punching up. I am very interested in this Omni though. And I think it's probably worth doing because, well, we're not going to do anything until the 5v5 season because what I want to see is what that Omicron looks like, or what the team looks like without the Omicron in 5v5. So we'll do that first. Now, where are we? So Galactic Republic, Shaak T, and some 5-0 first. How many of these max health do I have? I probably need to re-roll some. That looks good. Okay. I'm a little worried about some of this, but let's do it this way. I want Arc Stealth. And we'll heal up Echo. Don't you die on me. Okay. I'd rather take out Dash, but just... This feels like what we're closer at right now. Alright, terrible. Yeah. This works better up against the Quill versions. The Quill and IG11. I felt like Dash was going to change it. I also kind of wanted to know for certain. Alright, that's fine. We won't do that again, but we don't usually see that team anyway. Alright, let's beat this other stuff, and then we'll just... Maybe we'll do some more testing up against that or not. But the rest of this, we're going to be more boring. What do I got that on my brain for? Alright, I want these two. We'll give them this one. And let's get to work. Oh, these mace ones are irritating. So I watched Witcher, the first part of Season 3. I have no idea what is happening at all. Probably because I was playing this game while watching it. But definitely one of those things where... It's one of like the problems I have about poorly written genre things. Where it gets so heavy with exposition, you just have scene after scene after scene, where it's just expedition dump. And it's usually the sign of a poorly written show. And one of the things I've been watching lately too is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I've just been so like unenthused by Marvel with the poor quality of the shows and movies that I put off watching it. And it's the same problem where I haven't even finished watching the movie. I'm like halfway through it, and just the whole movie is just exposition dump. Everything is just like these heavy dialogue laden scenes where they're just explaining everything, and it's just the maxim for good writing is show, don't tell. And these shows that fall into these positions where it's just tell, 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 tell. Because they don't have any idea how else to show genre television. Like, Andor did it right. Like, Andor had dialogue heavy scenes, sure, but it wasn't exposition. Like, those scenes were about characters, character development, tension. Like, it was escalating things. Like you can see, even like partway through Wakanda Forever, like the first action, I think the first action sequence where Namor, I always call him Namor. I think I'm gonna go back and forth on how I want to how I will choose to pronounce him. Although, yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, like his introduction scene, that's a good scene. That's a well-written scene. That's how a thing should be, where you have them deep sea mining, exploring things. They're showing the progression on vibranium, finding vibranium in another location. Then a threat gets introduced. Then an action sequence showing the threat and what kind of powers and capabilities there are with the Atlanteans and Namor. Very strong, very well done. Not too much longer with the MIT scene. Like, there's some okay things about that action sequence, but most of it is like, why is this happening? Was this scene necessary? Could it have been rewritten in a different way? Could you just have said Shuri was kidnapped while this was going on and just not have any of it? And I kind of think you could have. I need to pay attention to this. I'm playing this wrong. I need to be focusing on Rey. We did trigger a damage immunity, though. Let's get to work here. I need to stop talking. I needed to stun Swallow there. And we messed up by not stunning him. Usually we always stun him. We did get the damage immunity though, but I misplayed this. And we are not getting any help on our charges now. Alright, let's stun him now. Let's see if we can take a hit. Alright. Boom, one. Do this. Don't die on me. Okay, good. We'll go with the debuff. Perfect. Okay. Couple misplay things because I was talking, and that's why I don't live stream. All right, what do I even want to do? Let's just jam all this. I don't care. Like what works about that second scene with the Iron Maiden is it's introducing her and her powers. So it's not a completely useless scene, but it's just like you have these people talking, then it's interrupted to have an action set piece. Your action set pieces need to have a reason for existing. Otherwise, I find them boring. Like, I've brought this up a few times, but like, I fell asleep in the theater during Avengers of Infinity War, during the climatic scene. Because I don't care about CGI NPC fighting CGI NPC. I don't need none of that. Right. Yeah, let's use that one. We probably could have tried a couple things, other things to get through Palps here. But it probably would have gone poorly. I don't want to encourage my opponent to feel like he should participate. Because his history did show inconsistent participation. Yeah, let's do that. Do this. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, let's let him counter. No counter, fine, great. Mark. Just keep bringing in the Yodes. There we go. Perfect. Let's do this. Let's keep moving. I'm really dreading watching Quantum Mania. That's what I'm really dreading. And I'm really looking forward to the James Gunn DC universe, because that guy knows how to actually write something. If you guys haven't watched Peacemaker, Peacemaker's so good. That's a fantastic show. Do we have anything to test? Anything fun? Let's do Saw Gerrera. Let's do that. I've been tempted to put on his Ami. Just because it kind of seems like it's important. Like, I don't think the character works. He kind of feels like he needs it. My hesitancy, though, is like, does it require relics, and what's the ceiling on it? Because if it's a low ceiling, who cares? But it's one of those Amis that are, it's kind of like those Zeta abilities where the character doesn't really work if you don't have the Zeta. It's that kind of thing. But I don't think it's not changing this match, because without relics, like, these guys can't take the hits. He just doesn't have enough stat share and stat boosts that a lot of these other characters have. Yeah, let's do Cere Junda, finish it, because Cere Junda's a character who does have those things. Cere Junda's awesome. Let's see here. Like, this is how I like my Gear 11, Gear 12 characters to perform. What I want to see out of a marquee character. Okay. Why are we focusing on Dash? Let's just take out Bam. Because he's really the problem. So far, okay. There, this will be enough for Bam. They're not taking enough turns for the big hit from Cere Junda. Like, just like, look at the hits she takes. She's doing this as a 3-star character. Like, yeah, I'm closer to 7 stars now. she would do it as 3-star characters. And like there was one match where she one-hit a Relic 7 JTR. JTR is a tank. Like, Cere June is awesome. Alright, let's look at the fleet territory. I think it was pretty weak. Let's do some testing. Win or lose, we're doing testing. Let's do Mace with the Sith fleet here. Oh, I think I made a preset for this. Here we go. Now this probably won't work, but I just want to get a feel for it. This is more of just like a status check. Like, is this a fleet where is the capital ship mandatory, or is it a situation kind of like with the Falcon where the ship is so good that the capital ship is almost secondary. I don't think we're seeing that though, because we've already lost the dagger. So inflict debuffs. We don't have that many debuffs though, because we kind of needed the dagger. Let's do that. We're taking some good hits though. Let's bring out the Sith fighter. And what do we want here? Health down, or I think I want the healing immunity inflicted. No, this needs the Leviathan, because it really looked like the Fury class interceptor was going to be super tanky. And I'm not seeing it. Now it's nice that we got that revive, but we need more than that. Okay, so Plo's gonna do his Plo thing. Yeah, there goes that ship. At least though, the bomber is really doing a great job. Alright, let's see if we can use this though, because I think we should have it right away, right? Lose the stacks of Devour. Well, no, we don't, because I think we have to have the Leviathan has to be the capital ship. Okay, fine. Okay, not great. Do you have buff immunity? Okay, he has buff immunity, which is terrible. That doesn't cleanse? That's just gonna kill me. Well, I guess maybe it wouldn't have, because they all have days. Can you give me a chance? They really prioritize that, don't they? And I think the Sith Bomber's doing great. No. There's no viability here. At least not against this fleet. What I find disappointing is, like, we had a great showing with Holdo up against this fleet. I was hoping we could draw conclusions about it, but in order to draw conclusions about it, we'd have to see a lot more out of this. And we're just not seeing that much here. We did take the whole 5 minutes, though. That's not nothing. We just can't afford to lose the dagger that early. And I'm pretty sure the dagger's got to be on the front lines, unless maybe we throw scimitar on the front lines and just bring dagger out later. Maybe until the Leviathan comes out. We'll try that again in the future. All right, let's do this for real. Let's see how the Chimera does up against preloaded turn meter. Okay. Great. Great. Yeah, this is going fine, I guess. Why do I have to target? Fine. If I got to. Okay. Alright, so, yeah, Witcher, I have no idea what's going on. I watched it all, and I feel like nothing happened. It's, you have to write things in a way to make people feel like anything matters. Like, if you can, sometimes by necessity, you have to explain things in these really dialogue heavy laden ways, but you in order for those moments to matter, you have to earn it everywhere else, and they did not. Yeah, you know what, we needed a sacrifice fleet here, didn't we? Because I can't, let's just throw in this with some junk. Hold. How do we want to play this? Yeah, I think we'll just sacrifice. We'll have to sacrifice the finalizer. We won't bring in a full fleet. And we'll take the tank off the front lines. Because usually Mace has been my sacrifice fleet. It won't be this time. Let's just bring in the ties with the silencer. That should die quick. I also need higher relic levels on a lot of those pilots. That'll probably help a lot. I'm talking about the Sith fleet. Yeah, things like that. I'm going to attack this first because I don't want to feed turn meter to it yet. Wait, that's an incorrect assessment. Let's just attack this. Then do this. I just want to get a little bit of protection down. Now I just want to die. I should have AoE'd right there. Just take me out. What we're trying to do is mess up the cooldowns. So we don't want to last too long, and we're kind of lasting too long. I hope that was fast enough. Because we did it before with the Sith fleet. I was doing some Sith fleet testing. We lasted way too long. When I brought in the Malevolence, it did not work. Because the cooldowns had reset. You know what? We got these presets. Let's use them. I took the time to set it up. Let's talk basketball, because that's all I'm thinking about right now. So, people who had good free agencies. Phoenix Suns did great. Like, I thought they might enter the season looking a lot like the Lakers did at the start of this past season with junk. And for Phoenix to have built out a roster of actual NBA players is really impressive and fantastic. Like, to get Eric Gordon for that price, to bring in Yuta Watanabe. Yuta Watanabe is like a really excellent three-point specialist. That's not even really capturing how good he is at a number of things. He's more than a three-point specialist. But those were excellent signings. I need to focus a moment. I should have not attacked him there. Because now we got to deal with the RNG of the spy. It's just fine. This is like what normally needs to happen, but sometimes you can play around it. Okay, let's see if we can take out Cad Bane. That is less than ideal. I kind of want to go for the assists right now. This might be a really bad decision, but... Oh my god, that dodge is going to murder me. This is a disaster. Alright, we're not winning. There's no way, because we're not going to get to another reinforcement. Yep, it's over. Now it's over. That's a disaster. Especially because we don't have the finalizer now. So we got, what, 2 pilots? 3 pilots. Oh, we got the Scythe. How do we want to play this? Because you know what does surprisingly well up against the Executor? It's the Raven's Claw. But it's more of in a cleanup scenario. But I need something to get through Holdo. Let's do this. Okay. No, that's the wrong fleet. Holdo's one where if you want to do a Holdo mirror with the weaker Holdo, like if you're going up against a GL Holdo and you don't have relics on your pilots, if you sacrifice, you Holdo will clean it up. Your weaker Holdo will clean it up. As long as you mess up the cooldowns, the weaker one can win. Okay, let's focus over on Rose because she's going to taunt anyway. Okay. It's a waste of that ability that early into a match. It's kind of important later. So that might buy me some time, but we gotta get through this. Cannot lose my Raven's Claw. I need a target lock. That's terrible. It's over. Let's do that so he taunts. We're not clearing this fleet territory. We needed my Malevolence to win. Because we could grind out one of these things. The problem is we can't grind out two. Because we have two fleets left. I guess if the Scythe can come through up against the Executor, we could still do it. We got dazes. Okay, so we get through that at least. Okay. All right. Let's see if we get lucky. Like, Holdo will clean it up. We've stated that. But we need the Scythe to win this. And I'm just afraid that we're at a heal. And we're not going to deal with the proper counters to these fleets. Because of the way I divided up the ships. Maybe it works though. But you know what? We do have this guy and this guy. Let's just bring him in. Don't you do this. Just stop it. Okay. Do I even have an AoE? I'm gonna heal up that Cad Bane before I can do anything. I should have done the other one. I just want to take out Cad Bane. That's all I want to do. I see. This is why I should have. I just should have done the Raven's Claw here, because the Raven's Claw you can ignore taunt. That's what makes it so effective. Yeah, okay, it's over. We'll bring this guy out and see where we get, but it's over, it doesn't matter. I might just forfeit. Because I'd rather see how Holdo will do in a... up against a weaker health. But maybe the defender will get us far enough. No. Definitely not. No, that malevolence counter failing is... yeah. Okay. Maybe we take a look at it. Are we going to look at it? No. Let's get out of here. I really feel like if I wasn't talking during that Executor thing, I could have played that differently enough that we could have beat it. I want to do Holdo here. Like, we could beat the Holdo, but I'd rather go up against the Executor. Okay, that's going to cause some pain. I just want to take my AoE. That's all I want. We're going to lose him right here. Of course. How much turn meter do I get? Alright, I'm doing the AoE. That's all I wanted to do. Just wanted to take out Cad. Alright. We're done. Let's wrap up. Honestly, let's just... no. If I was playing for real, I would have brought out Sarge at this point. But I'm not playing for real anymore. Could we have some sort of dumb miracle? No. Let's wrap it up. Well, we got through Third Sister, and I'm going to count that as a win. Even though I'm sure when we check in, this is going to be a loss. He really's got to be a no-show or just do one minimum battle for this to be a win. It was a long shot in any situation, but I at least wanted to clear the fleets. But we'll see where it goes. that match went about as expected. I realized after the fact I could have kept playing. I still had counters for the lower territory. It's just I, in the moment, forgot about it. It wouldn't change the result. I couldn't have full cleared or even cleared that lower territory, but I could have kept playing a little bit more. We're going to do our Grand Arena history here now, though. Just look at how the defense performed. Now, the round 1 opponent, he did not full clear. What he did attack, though, he did pretty well up against. You'll see he traded the trench, handled most of these squads in one attempt. He used gas up against my Maul. He successfully does Vader here. I bring that up because of the opponent who is not as successful later on. I think it's because Thrawn is here. JKR up against Finn. He drops a battle here up against Grievous with the Night Sisters. And then he had set so much down on defense that he did not have a Jabba counter. So he was stuck here. Round 2, this is the opponent I beat. Bad Batch falling to Qui-Gon. That happens fairly often. I wonder... I'd like to know more about that one, because maybe it's just I'm only noticing it when the Bad Batch fail, which happens consistently, but I'm not noticing when the Bad Batch work. Maybe it's the comp, some other dynamics. Gas here, losing to Trench. This is fantastic. Love to see it. My opponent quit. And as we go and progress through the rest of this, JKR falling to Maul. He quit this one. That's awesome. That was enough to prompt him into using Lord Vader to clear my Maul, which probably helps later on. And then Vader here, this is what I just brought up, Vader falling to Padme, but there is no Thrawn here, uses TIE Fighter pilot. I imagine that's what made the difference. Now here's some more interesting results. Grand Inquisitor losing to my Finn Zori. He quits it. He also attempted Night Sisters with Marin up against Grievous and fails. This is kind of disrespectful. Maul lead up against Finn Zori. That obviously fails. He quits it here, so there's still no preloaded turn meter. Mon Mothma failing. He does take out Poe, though. Brings in Aura Singh. Finn still stands. Brings in Cody. These are some disrespectful counters. This is just him not wanting to use something good, and this is why my Finn ate up so many turns, because these teams just aren't sufficient. He ultimately brings in Basta the lead to clear it. Then Rolo, here just more, this is the stuff I talk about, like why you go after these new characters with these new kits. When your opponent sees the lower gear, sees the lower stars, they just think they don't need to take it seriously. So here is him not taking it seriously, using Rolo, which doesn't work, gets blown up, he quits. Then he tries to do a similar thing with Tuskens, but there's no Warrior here, and Warrior is pretty critical. Loses, Dengar loses, and then doesn't have anything left. Round 3, this will be quick. This opponent, I think, one-shot the board. Maybe we got one hold, but this was the current opponent, or this video's opponent, and he has no real issues and just burns through it. JKL up against Finn, JML up against the Maul team. This is what happens because I just don't have enough GLs. My opponent, like my Maul's team, is an interesting team. It can be effective. There are cheaper counters like Troopers, but my opponents have the luxury of being able to use a GL up against it because they don't have to use their GLs up against anything else. Now that is something that will probably be changing in the 5v5 season, where I'll be able to retain 1 or 2 GLs for defense, which is pretty difficult for me to do now. But we will wrap it up there. We got one more match coming up soon, but I don't know if, we'll talk about that in another video. I'm traveling in a bit, so the videos that are coming out. We'll see if I'm able to record while I'm traveling. But thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone. Be excellent to each other. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.